Section 4.3, Multiplying Matrices. The first thing you need to do is figure out if you can multiply the two matrices together. Look at the dimensions. If the number of the columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of the row in the second matrix, then yes, you can multiply them together. Your answer will be the row times the column. That would be the dimensions of the answer matrix. So example 1A, it's a 3 by 4, and matrix B is a 4 by 2. The column equals the row, so yes, you can multiply them together. The dimensions would be the outside. The dimensions of matrix A times B will be a 3 by 2. So try these two on your own. The column does not equal the matrix in example B, so no, you cannot multiply those together, so it is not defined. In example C, the column equals the row, so yes, you can multiply those two together, and your answer will be a 4 by 2 matrix. Okay, read the steps for multiplying the matrices. We are going to multiply row 1 in matrix A times column 1 in matrix B. So we're going to multiply 6 times a negative 5, and then we're going to slide across in the first matrix and we're going to slide down in the second matrix. So we're going to multiply negative 3 times 3. Now, we'll add that in a minute, and that will be the answer for row 1, column 1. Now we're going to go back to row 1, but this time we're going to multiply times column 2. So 6 times a negative 4 plus a negative 3 times 3. Now we're going to go to row 2, and we're going to multiply row 2 times column 1. So negative 10 times a negative 5. And then we're going to slide across in the first matrix and go down in the second matrix. So we're going to multiply row 2 times column 2. So we're going to multiply negative 10 times, oh wait a minute, I'm sorry. Now we're going to multiply negative 10 times a negative 4. And then negative 2 times 3. Now we're going to add or subtract. And there's our matrix. Here's matrix U and matrix B. First, let's determine if we can multiply these together. Matrix U is a 2 by 2, so we can multiply, and matrix B is a 2 by 2, so we can multiply. So we're going to multiply row 1 by column 1. 5 times 2 plus 9 times 6. Then we're going to multiply row 1 times column 2. 5 times a negative 1 plus 9 times a negative 5. Now we're going to multiply row 2 times column 1. So negative 3 times 2. And then we're going to slide across as we slide down. So negative 2 times 6. Now we're going to multiply row 2 times column 2. Negative 3 times a negative 1 plus a negative 2 times a negative 5. We're going to do the arithmetic. Example 3 has several teams competing in a swim team. So first we're going to come up with the matrix for the results. So we just basically copy down this stuff in one matrix. And then the point matrix is how many points they get for first, second, and third place. I'm going to recopy the matrices down here. And we've already determined that this is a 4 by 3 and the matrix P is a 3 by 1, so we can multiply these two together. So you try to do that. So by looking at this, the Hayes won the swim meet with 96 points. Example 4, matrix G is a 2 by 3 and matrix H is a 3 by 2. We can multiply these together and our answer will be a 2 by 2 matrix. So when we multiply the first row times the first column, we're going to get 2 minus 6 minus 5. Now we're going to multiply row 1 times column 2, and we get 3 minus 24 minus 35. Now we're going to multiply row 2 times column 1. Then we're going to multiply row 2 times column 3. So as we slide across, we slide down. Do the math, and that is our matrix. Now let's look, example 4a was multiplying G times H. Let's see if you get the same thing when you multiply H times G. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite matrix G to the right of it so it'll be easier to slide across and slide down. First, matrix H is a 3 by 2 and matrix G is a 2 by 3. So yes, we can multiply these together and we will get a 3 by 3 matrix. So we're going to multiply row 1 times column 1, then row 1 times column 2, and then row 1 times column 3. Now we're ready to multiply row 2 times column 1, row 2 times column 2, and then row 2 times column 3. Now we're ready to multiply row 3 times column 1, row 3 times column 2, and then row 3 times column 3. Do the math, and you will see that GH is not equal to HG. So you do have to multiply those separately. Look at example 5. We have to multiply matrix J times matrix K plus L. First thing we're going to do is we're going to copy down matrix J.